We live in a culture that has mastered the art of walking away. Think about how easy it is to ghost someone today. If a friendship gets a little too demanding, we stop replying. If a relationship requires real sacrifice, we swipe left and we look for the next option. We back out of contracts, we break promises, and we abandon commitments the exact second they stop benefiting us. Hi, welcome back to Disciples for Jesus. I'm Sarah, and on this channel, we explore faith in a practical way. Thank you for coming back for this series. I'm really excited to get into this because it's one that I think, well, honestly, all of these are one that we all feel, but let's just make sure that we can go in and really correct our thinking about God's faithfulness and just who He really is. Commitment for most of us is conditional. Because we are so used to people letting us down, we instinctively expect God to do the same. We assume that if we screw up badly enough or if we drift away for too long, he's just going to change his mind about us, pack his bags and ghost us. But the next two words in God's character blueprint prove that he is completely incapable of walking away. He describes himself as abounding in loyal love and faithfulness. In ancient Hebrew, these are the words hesed and emet, and together they describe a God who is the ultimate relentless partner. If you look at different English translations of the Bible, you'll notice they struggle to translate this first word. Some versions call it loving kindness or steadfast love, unfailing love, or mercy. That's because hesed is almost untranslatable in a single English word. It's a term deeply rooted in the ancient concept of a covenant, which was a legally binding, intensely personal family partnership between two parties. Hesed isn't just a warm, fuzzy feeling. It is a highly active, choice driven love. It's the kind of love that says, I have committed myself to you and I am going to show up and act generously on your behalf, even if you give me absolutely nothing in return. To see Hesed in action, you have to look at what happens when one side of the partnership completely breaks the rules. In ancient relationships, if one person broke the covenant, the other person was legally allowed to walk away. But God's Hesed means that when humanity inevitably breaks when we break our end of the deal, God doesn't use it as an escape clause. Instead, his loyalty drives him to pursue us anyway. His Hesed is a stubborn, relentless refusal to let go of the people that he loves. Coupled with Hesed is the word emet. In most of our Bibles, this is translated as truth or faithfulness. Now, when we think of truth today, we think of abstract facts or intellectual data, like 2 plus 2 equals 4. But in ancient Hebrew, emet is structural. It comes from a root word meaning to support or make solid. It's the word you would use to describe a massive stone pillar holding up a heavy ceiling or a solid foundation beneath your feet. When God says he is full of emet, he isn't just saying he tells the truth. He's saying he is the truth. He is reliable. He is stable. He is a rock. It means that who God was yesterday is exactly who he will be today and exactly who he will be 10,000 years from now. His character does not shift like shifting shadows. You can put the entire weight of your life onto his promises, and the foundation it will never crack. Now, let's put these two together because this is where the story of the Bible gets incredibly dramatic. God says he is abounding in Hesed and emet. It's overflowing. But the entire narrative of human history is the exact opposite. We are not loyal and we are not faithful. We constantly break our promises to God, to each other, and to ourselves. So, what happens when an infinitely loyal God partners with an incredibly unfaithful human race? Most human stories would end right there with a bitter breakup. But because God is anchored by Hesed and Emet, He takes the unfaithfulness of humanity and uses it as a canvas to show just how far His loyalty will go. Even when we are faithless, He remains faithful because He cannot deny His own character. He would rather suffer the consequences of our broken promises Himself than walk away from the partnership. If you have ever felt like you've drifted too far or that your mistakes have finally exhausted God's patience, remember Hesed and Emet. You cannot out-sin His loyalty, and you cannot break His faithfulness. He is the partner who stays when everyone else walks away. But this brings us to the ultimate climax of this series. If God is compassionate, gracious, slow to anger, and overflowing with loyal love, how does He actually deal with the real systematic evil in our world? How can a God this loving also be a God of perfect justice? Can mercy and justice actually coexist without canceling each other out? That is the grand paradox we are tackling in the next episode. If you're ready to dive into the hard questions about justice, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and leave a comment below. Which of these two words, Hesed or Emet, do you need to rely on today? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in episode 5. Remember to walk in faith, lead with courage, and serve with love. God bless.